I like Virat and Anushka. Very, you know what I like is they're very, again, very understated. They do fashion but without trying to make a statement, whereas Deepika and Ranveer do fashion and make a statement. So that's the difference.
If you could style one Bollywood bride again, whose wedding look would you redesign?
Katrina. I liked what she wore, but I thought that it's Katrina Kaif. I felt like Rashmika was quite lovely.
You love the lehenga?
I like the sari.
You love the
I
sari?
love the sari, and I love the fact that it was so simple and so beautiful. You know, I mean, I like that. I mean, it's talked about enough. Again, it's the thing of bringing in heritage into things was quite interesting. I really
some
liked
controversy happened, I guess, because of the in lehenga there was a Lakshmi.
it. Yeah, abhi controversy to is everywhere all the time. She is inspirational. From what I have seen Amala to what she is today, it is just inspirational. Like I say it, that people would say things which are very mean, you know. Reviewing shouldn't be harmful towards a person. You know, it can be funny, it can be technical, you're pointing out things in the outfit that's right, but you're coming from a technical point of view, you know. It's not personal. You cannot attack the person and call the person bad things. You can call the outfit bad. I mean, if it's a bad outfit, it's a bad outfit. But there is always a way of telling it. I once stepped into this film called Begum Jaan, I think 1 week before they were shooting, and it was a full-on period film. They had some issue with the previous whatever designer they were working on, and that designer literally left with all the clothes because there were some payment issues or whatever. They left with no reference, no clothes, nothing. And these guys were shooting like, I think, 8 or 9 days, okay? And they hired me, and then they were like,
Which Bollywood couple has the best fashion chemistry?
I like Deepika and Ranveer. I think they have very individual
Genelia,
sense of.
Ritesh,
I don't think Genelia and Ritesh are.
Please describe about your dress and fashion thing today. What you're wearing?
I'm just doing a very cash afternoon vibe. It's very like a hint of bling with like a little bit of candy necklaces, which is inspired by Anna Wintour, you know. And that's pretty much it. It's a very casual day look for me. Oh, I'm obsessed with hats, and I'm obsessed with the fur this season. So I'm just doing like a lot of fur. I'm doing like fur coats and fur hats, and yeah, it's just like a furry afternoon.
But whatever it is, loving the vibe. But recently you went to London Fashion Week, and talk to me about London Fashion Week. How was it?
London is always fun.
Yeah?
This time was even more fun because it was Fashion Week, and what was really exciting was the reaction I've had in London Fashion Week, because, you know, as like mostly Indian people and brown skinned people, you don't really expect for people to be very excited about, you know, to be very honest. But the way it like sort of became such a thing, I was super excited because I think I've attended like what 6 or 7 shows, and literally at every show there was like the paps would click my photos and there'll be interviews and things, so which was very you know, unexpected, because I had gone there just for fun and because I was there anyways. I was shooting a film after that, so I just gone like a week back, and I was invited by Elle and by some designers specifically for me to attend, and I thought it's just going to be like a fun couple of things in a day and all that, but it just turned out to be bigger than that, and I was very excited. It was just too much fun.
But for the first time, I think you represented also queer community, right?
Yes, I mean,
how was that?
I mean, to be honest, I mean, fashion is very queer, you know, to be very honest. So I don't think fashion, or rather fashion might be the only business apart from entertainment or films, or where the queer community is actually accepted, celebrated. If you see all the designers, most of them are queer. If you see all the technicians, a lot of queer people are involved in the fashion business and the fashion world. So that really isn't so much of a thing, but you know, like it's just fun to be appreciated, and you know, sort of yeah, it was just fun.
But how much important it is to, you know, recognize them? मतलब वो एक recognition नहीं मिलती है कभी भी, you know, कि ये
like who?
community, queer community.
As a queer community?
Yeah. Because you have openly talk about it many times.
Yes.
Which is a good sign. People at least start talking about it.
I'll tell you, the problem is that people have a lot of misunderstanding about what it is to be queer. Because we don't have representation a lot, we don't have proper representation a lot. We also do not have a lot of interesting conversation about it. So what happens is that majority of people who don't have an understanding of what it is to be queer, who are the community members and all, they find like their own opinion based on some stupid information they have had or whatever, you know. It's basically misinformed bunch of people who create an impression of the queer community as they please, but that's not what the truth is. Queer people are phenomenal, and I think they're one of the best people in the world. Especially in the world of art and creativity, they are appreciated. But the queer people are everywhere in all kinds of businesses. Unfortunately, a lot of them hide it because, you know, you're stigmatized and, you know, things like that. So I think it is very, very important to have the correct representation, people understanding the essence of what it is and understanding that it is as normal, you know, as being straight or as being whatever. This whole difference, yes, it is, it's different from being straight and all, but that doesn't make it any less, you know. Essentially, it is what it is. We are all human beings and we have lives, you know, and that's it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's actually even stupid to have to explain it again and again that, dude, like, we're cool and whatever. But the thing is, it's just stupid, you know. Like, I think it's high time in 2026 people give up and understand that we are people.
So
there's way bigger things happening in the world. The world's coming to an end and you're fighting with people because they have like a different sexual preference. It's like really stupid, I think.
Absolutely. At least I like the fact that you talk about it.
Yes.
You openly accept about
Absolutely.
it, which is the fab thing you do.
Yes.
But the second thing I really want to ask, when you visit London, places like Italy, or many other places internationally, does that respect, which should have been given before to India people, fashion industry, does they give now?
Are you talking from a queer point of view or like
Pure
just
plus fashion industry.
See, I'll answer it in two parts. Firstly, India as a culture, historically, if you see, never had an issue with queer people. It's a lot of influence from a lot of different cultures that had come over the years, is what, in a way, sort of colored our societal or society vision towards what queer people are or sexuality in general. Like, India is, if you see historically, is extremely evolved as a culture. We never had problems with sexuality, about women, about, you know, showcasing your sexuality or your body. We had like an amazing culture, which over the years with different kinds of influences, it sort of got colored, and now we have reached here in a place where we have issues with sexuality, with women, with bodies, with this, that, blah, blah, blah. So technically, when we say that, oh, the Indians have a problem with the queer community or with, you know, anything of that, I don't believe that. It's a colored how do I say, it's basically a colored opinion of the society over the years. We have been trained to believe this is right, this is wrong. But if you see it in the core understanding of an Indian essential thing, it didn't have that. You know, we had all the temples, and I'm not even getting into the political understanding of it. But if you see the historic understanding of sexuality according to Indians, we never had a problem with it. You know, it's a lot of other things that colored it. So that is, when you ask me about the representation bit in the whole context of Indian society, I don't personally believe that it is essentially an Indian understanding that, oh, you know, this is right and this is wrong. We never think sexuality is wrong, or, you know, any kind of sexual preference is wrong. That's my opinion again. When it comes to fashion business, I think the fashion business, as I said, or the film business for that instance, are two of the most accepting industries where sexuality, your any kind of preference does not make
Right.
a difference as long as you're talented,
Yeah.
as long as you're delivering.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters. What does matter is that when you internationally, when you say that internationally, I guess queer people are more accepted over Indian society, it is a very simple understanding of awareness. I guess as a society, we are also a lot less aware about what is queer, what is gay, what is it. So anything that you don't know, you're scared of. When you understand it, you sort of develop an understanding from a informed perspective. That is the only difference, because I guess internationally there is a lot more understanding about queer people. It's discussed openly. You have stronger queer representation in all businesses. I have friends who are lawyers, I have friends who are architects, I have friends who are whatever, and they're openly queer. So here a lot of it is also hidden, a lot of it out of shame, because you're shamed for being queer. So a lot of people don't want to come out and talk about it. So that's the difference. The information that we have over here is lesser than the information that I guess international societies have more, and that's why their approach towards queer people is different. But that's pretty much it. Otherwise, I mean, at least in my business, in films, in fashion,
A lot.
not much. It's
Don't care.
fantastic.
But have you faced any time any problems or challenges because you have always opened about it? You have always talked about it.
I'll be very, very honest. Everybody has some stories and all. I have been accepted like wholeheartedly. Also, maybe because I was never apologetic ever about being however I am. I'm wearing a fucking fur hat and sitting and doing an interview. Like, I do whatever I please, and I guess because I came from a very, very clear perspective of who I am, I never hid it. I never thought that I needed to hide it. I guess that's one of the things why I did not have a lot of resistance. I've also realized over the years that a lot of queer people, to be very honest, are made to be ashamed of themselves. And that's where it comes from. When you are ashamed of who you are, you're letting society, giving rather the
Chances.
opportunity to people to shame you.
True.
If I come to you and I say, oh my god, your hair is brown.
True.
And you're like, yeah, my hair is brown, what's a big deal? That's where it ends. But if you have a problem with your hair being brown and I come and point it out, you will internalize it and say, oh shit, he's saying my hair is brown. It's just, it's not the right thing to be.
Keep thinking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. I have had amazing people, like starting with my parents. In school, I was like this flamboyant, big personality, which people celebrated,
true.
because I came from a place where I was very like, I don't care about your opinion. I care about what I feel like, and I feel fantastic.
And also it was because you were very strong
Yes.
within and
yes.
outside.
But
That's the
I'll
reason.
also tell you this, that it is very tough to be strong. I know horrible, horrible, horrible stories about people growing up, being bullied and all that stuff. I have been extremely, extremely blessed and lucky to have the life I've had, to have the people I've had, the support that I've had, and the way I've lived my life. Yes, a lot of it is me, but it is a lot of literally blessing that I am sitting right here. Everybody has very tough stories, I thankfully didn't have to go through a lot of this thing. Yes, little bit of it is about how I decided to live my life, but it's a lot of support. It's a lot of other people also who made me feel important, who made me feel, strong in my life, and that's why I sit where I sit. So it is a culmination of a lot of things. So it's not just me. It's what my life has turned into, and the people who have sort of been part of my life for me to reach over here. So yeah.
But there are times when we only talk about 2 or 3 celebrity stylists. There are 2 or rather than this Malhotra, this second, third, fourth. Not there are many more who are working night, day, every day. But please talk about why their names are not coming up. What can be the reason?
See, I've been very lucky because from day one that I started working, I have always been recognized for who I am, what I do, and all that stuff. So I don't really understand the thing of it, but there are people who get recognition and then there are people who don't get recognition. I honestly don't know what to say about it because I'm luckily the one who's recognized. So.
So how did you got into this industry?
I was, again, very, very lucky. I used to assist Vabis. She's a choreographer, and I used to be her backstage helper. Back in the days, I was this little 17-year-old child who would go with her for fashion weeks and all kind of fashion shows. And, I'll be backstage helping actors. There were no actors, like models and stuff like that. We were doing a show for MTV. Where Vabis told me after the show, you can come with me for the post party. So I went with Vabis for the post party and I was dancing. And there was this lady, Preeta Suktankar, who used to be a producer with MTV. She saw me and she was like, you're weird and I like the style. So she said, do you want to be a stylist? And I didn't even know what a stylist was. So I said, I'm in school. I still have to finish school. So she's like, wow, okay. So call me when you're done. Then I had a few months of fashion school left and I finished and I called her and then she said, I like the way you are and I think you'll fit into MTV. So I got an internship with them. I interned with Poonam Damania, my first ever boss. She hates it when I say it, but she is my first boss. And then when I joined MTV, Malaika spotted me and she literally picked me up and she's like, this weird little thing is my protege. And the rest is history. And I learned stuff from her. She trained me.
Which year this was?
Yeah.
Which year?
This was 100 years ago. I don't want to talk about it. I've been doing this for a very long time. This was years and years ago. So.
Okay. Almost 7-8 years back?
Dude, it's 24 years back.
Oh. You need to say this then. 24 years back.
I've known her since 24 years.
Oh, wow.
So she picked me up. She trained me and made me into Rick Roy. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I just kept moving. I did different things. I traveled. I lived in different places in the world. And yeah, it was great fun.
It's been almost 24 years to 25 years.
Yeah, I've been working for 23 years.
Right. But I really want to ask you one thing. What do you see that things have been changed around you? What are the things you have seen evolving for the good manner also and in a bad manner also? ये चीजें नहीं चेंज होनी चाहिए थी.
जो चेंज हुई है, जो अच्छे के लिए हुई है, वो ये है कि there is a lot of importance and relevance given to fashion, costumes in films specifically because that's what I do. Uske liye, whoever has come after Manish Malhotra needs to say thank you, Manish Malhotra, because Manish Malhotra is one of the only people in the history of filmmaking who has single-handedly changed the way costumes are seen, because he became the star designer. And anybody and everybody who was recognized after Manish Malhotra was recognized because of Manish Malhotra. Now a lot of people don't want to talk about it, don't want to give it credit, but I am very, very, I'm obsessed with Manish. Like, I love him because he's just like this one person who I have literally idolized, you know, and I can guarantee you everybody has. A lot of them will not say it, but because Manish Malhotra was the super freaking star of fashion, of film fashion, right? Like, he gave costume designing the importance and the glamour and all the good things that we enjoy today. So that has changed over the years, and after Manish did that for all of us, thank you Manish, and it followed, you know, like we all had opportunities, you know, we were not looked down upon. When you walked into a producer's office, a director's office, they knew that this was somebody who's integral and important to the project. So that importance is fantastic, you know. But what has also happened subsequently in the last few years, which according to me is a little whatever, is that I think personal stylists have gotten into film costume designing. Styling people individually and for red carpets is a separate profession from film costume designing, again saying it, which have become one. Now what happens is that the so-called personal stylist might be fantastic at what they do for you or for the celebrity as the celebrity who walks the red carpet, who's in, you know, personal space, your whatever, you go airport fashion and all that stuff, but not essentially they understand the process of filmmaking. Neither do they try to understand, a lot of times, not all of them, but a lot of time, they are not bothered about understanding the character. They are there because they come as entourage with the actors. They are busy pleasing the actors and not thinking about what the character is in the film, because it's very simple. You hire me, my loyalty lies with
Correct.
you. Whereas film costume designing is not that. Film costume designing is a completely different profession. We studied it. I've studied like theatre costume, I've studied characterization, and that sometimes it's very annoying because it's not about the job, it's about having passion for it. It's not about picking up a Dolce & Gabbana 90,000 rupee shorts and putting it on the person. Why are you putting it? Is the character supposed to wear it? The actor might want to wear it, but does the character need to wear it? That thought process is not there a lot of times, which is sometimes frustrating because we keep talking about, film budgets going haywire and this one's charging that much, that one's charging this much. But you're also giving the opportunity to those people to charge that much. Now, why is the producer not coming and saying that, babe, like, this is not right? You're also giving them that opportunity to waste the money without logic, and then saying that, but costumes charging too much money.
True.
Sit down, understand that what is needed and what's not needed, and put a cap on it. So that is something that I feel needs to be looked at. Specifically considering we are going through a time when films are evolving, right? We don't make like lavish films anymore.
True.
One-off maybe, but most of the films we are trying to curtail like cost. We are trying to make more efficient films and shows and all that stuff. Then you need to look into these things, which is important. Now, I'm saying it as a designer, like I'm not like against being paid well, but I also feel that it needs to be paid, like there has to be a justification to what. Like I know it, for instance, I mean, we also do it sometimes because that's what is asked of us. Ridiculous monies are sometimes spent for no reason. I will not take names, but there was one film that I have done where there is a scene where there is a close-up of a hand, because it's a engagement scene. It's where the hero is giving a ring to the heroine, okay, and that's it. That's the close-up. It's a small part of a montage, and the personal stylist of that actor bought Jimmy Choo heels for that actor because she said, no, I'll wear Jimmy Choo heels. And the producer was like, but it's a close-up of your hand, so that's it. It's a close-up of your face and your hand. There is no shoe. But the stylist was like, no, but she will only wear Jimmy Choos. So we had to spend 3.5 lakhs worth shoes which are not seen in the film at all, anywhere. So that I feel is a wastage. So I think rather than saying paisa kaat do, iska kaat do paisa, uska kaat do paisa, you have to be more like practical and more informed about how you're budgeting the film, rather than just randomly cutting money, saying designers are charging too much money, cut their money. But you're also like adding to the cost of it.
But are they paid well? Are the designers, are the stylists paid well?
The stylists, see, what happens is a very simple thing. Like, if you're part of entourage for an actor, you can charge whatever you want. Because eventually the actor wants you, so you will get away with it. If you're coming through production, there is of course a lot of negotiation, and I would say I am paid very well. But sometimes I think personal entourage is overpaid. And that's the fact, sorry, but that's the truth. Like, I don't think like, let's say somebody like a Veera, somebody like a Rohit, me, we are all costume designers, this is what we do. And we mostly come through production. We go, we present, whatever. So we don't come through actors per se. But sometimes when there are people who the actors bring, they will have to be paid what they want to be paid. And sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. But I don't think sometimes the producers or the directors have the leeway to say no to them, because the actor is like, this is my team, so that way. So yeah.
And you have been also in a team sometimes, no?
I have been.
Yeah,
and I've got paid very, very well because I've arm twisted people into making it. So I'm just saying that it is what it is, so you can take that off.
But you demand, or they come from you? That come from that side? Like,
no, it's so if you come with an actor, it's the actor's entourage, dude. Then you just say whatever money you want, and then, it's.
You need to say this to an actor. that I will charge this much.
Yeah, the actor's manager, you're like, oh, for this I'll charge this much, and they negotiate. But when it comes to you talking to a producer, you're negotiating, and then it's a little more value oriented. But with actors, it's great fun. It's a lot of money, unnecessary, but a lot.
And for production, it's less.
For production, it's, let's say, not less, but
Yeah.
it's more value based,
Okay.
and not like reference based. That's pretty much it.
But how has been your experience while working with the movies called, Desi Boys, Tumhari Sullu? ये सब का experience कैसा था? ये बताओ आप.
Dude, I love films. I love the experience of making films. Sometimes it's torturous and you want to just be like, "Ugh." But it is the best thing to do. Like, I love making films. I love the process of filmmaking. I love the process of costume making for films. It is fantastic. It's and the best job, like at least for me,
Yeah.
So I have always had really, really good fun. Like sometimes the process becomes a little bit of a hectic situation, like depending on who you're working with. Sometimes great people, sometimes not so great people. But eventually, when you see the film, you're like, oh my god, this is so good. It's my clothes. And I'm always excited, and I'm always extremely happy to do what I do. So it's my experience has been fantastic.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
बट जब आप मूवी शूट कर रहे होते हो तो कई बार ना ऐसे डिज़ाइनर्स लास्ट मिनट में बोलते हैं या स्टाइलिस्ट लास्ट मिनट में बोलते हैं कि ये ख़राब हो गया, ये चेंज करना पड़ेगा. तो कभी डायरेक्टर्स के साथ या प्रोड्यूसर्स के साथ लड़ाई हुई है, यार अभी तो मुझे चेंज करनी पड़ेगी चीज़ें?
नहीं यार, I'll tell you it, and I'm not being diplomatic, like I'm sure you know by now, I'm not really diplomatic. It is part and parcel of the job. Sometimes what irritates me or would irritate any technician is when what you're demanding is illogical. Then it's a problem. But last minute demands are part of everything, yaar. I mean, I'm sure तो movies के बारे में तो सभी पीछे पड़ जाते हैं, but the point is कि हर एक business में होता है. कल को तुम corporate job में भी हो, तुमको कोई presentation देना पड़ेगा, last में तुम्हारा boss बोलेगा ना कि भैया कर दो. Films में क्या होता है, because it's always in the media, films में जो भी होता है उसको बढ़ा चढ़ा के फैला के उसका कचुम्बर बना देते हैं. So I don't think that's a problem. Being illogical sometimes is a problem, but yaar, abhi it's part and parcel of the game, and over the years what has happened is we have also learned how to manage it, so
It's
chalta hai.
quite good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's pretty good.
Absolutely. But tell me one experience about yourself that you can't forget.
Good or bad?
Good one. You can talk about bad ones also.
Good, there are so many. Bad also there are a lot, but most of the times you genuinely, at least with me, I try to forget the bad ones. Good ones, dude, so many. Like if you go back, I still remember the first time we did the MTV Style Awards, and I was doing all of Malaika's clothes. I can't tell you, that girl is like fantastic. She's like mentor and all, but because Malaika was a huge star, like I come from Calcutta where I had no access to anything. Cut to your like Malaika's designer, and it brought so much, brought a lot of pressure. But she was like my teacher, so I would like literally be like, ting, and she'd be like, chota karo, bada karo, ye karo, wo karo, and I will do it and all. But the first time I remember when we like the Style Awards was happening, and like I was wearing like these different looks, and I remember I was sitting and I was dressing her, and I would come back and see it. Every time I would see it, and I was like, oh my god, this is me, because I'm like from Calcutta, I'm so-called non-small town boy, and for me to reach here at that point of time, I'm saying now though it's way further ahead, but even at that point of time, I still remember that feeling to see her, and I was like, oh my god, this is like, these are my clothes, and I can see them on TV, and it was like a great feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a career turning point for you?
Malaika was a career turning point for me, and I know I've said it so many times, but it's the truth. It's like there are people who come into your life and they do something to you, which changes the way everything. And Mala has been that person, dude. Like, think about it. There are so many people who started with me, and I'm sure like people don't have this kind of a career and this kind of a influence on things. It came like more than anything professionally. What changed was me. My perspective to life changed because of her, and because the way she trained me, because all the lovely things she has done in my life. So more than professional, it's personally who I became was thanks to her, and I still I'm developing in it, and so it's
I mean,
that
it's a
was
long journey with her for sure, with you, है ना, आपके साथ. But if she's seeing this
Personal.
video, okay, and
she will be.
and you share quite a good bond with her. I can totally imagine, I can totally sense her on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But one thing you really want to talk about Malaika that has changed over the years about her.
Oh, Malla.
Yeah.
Wow. She is inspirational. Like, from where she was, and I am seeing her for 24 years, right? So from what I have seen a Malla to what she is today, it is just inspirational. Like, I say it, and I say it to her all the time. I'm like I always see her as somebody who is inspirational to me because she is a fierce businesswoman right now.
Right.
She was a VJ, she was everything. She's done literally everything, and she continues to do all of it and add more and more and more,
Right.
which is so fantastic. And that's what I want to do. Like, I try doing it. I'm like, I don't want to be boxed into doing one thing. I will do this, I will do this. Then there is an opportunity of this, I will bring it in. So that is phenomenal about that girl. Like, she is like fantastic.
And the way she carries each and
Yeah,
every dress,
yeah.
they are inspiration
Yeah.
for us as well. Like,
I
एक
mean-
figure हो तो इनके जैसा.
Yeah, that's the chalo physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
She's stunning looking, she has a great body, blah blah blah. Those
Great.
things are chalo still very, apparent and physical. But the person she is and the kind of drive that she has is phenomenal. That impresses me a lot. Like,
Wow.
I like people who are ambitious. I like people who are not boring, and they're always like, what's next and what we need to do, and that inspires me. For her, I mean, yeah, she's stunning, there's no doubts about it, but it's Malla. I've seen her, she's stunning, la 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 la, but it's the person she is that, like, fantastic. I love that.
Wow, I love listening to her.
yap about Malla all the time.
Yeah.
But she has been that person in my
Yeah,
life.
true. But please, Rick, talk to me about one thing. What's one myth about costume designer that people really talk less or talk more about it?
Myth about us. I don't really know what is mythical about costume, but it's controversial. But the thing is, I feel that we are not considered as important as other technicians in the business. We kind of are lower in the rank, which is bullshit, because I mean, the first thing you notice is costume.
Right.
Yes, there is the camera, everything, but visually the first thing you notice on big screen is what the person is looking like.
Yeah.
So considering the fact that that is such an important part of the filmmaking, we as costume designers specifically, we sometimes, at least I feel, sometimes we don't get the importance when it comes to let's say budgets and other things, which sometimes we should. Like, it's always considered as the costume mein kya hai. I mean, it's our job is considered very easy, which it absolutely isn't. It's very, very tough, and maybe tougher than a lot of other things. So that is something that I would like people to be a little more aware of, that it's such an important part of the filmmaking process. Maybe needs to be given a little more importance. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but does there's a competition between other costume designers or something like that in this industry?
Yes,
It
absolutely. It's with every industry, with every profession.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, some of it is healthy. With some people, it's very unhealthy. With me, fortunately or unfortunately, I appreciate a lot of my peers. I mean, if you see on Instagram, I keep promoting people who are my friends, even if they are not my friends. If I see an outfit which is fantastic, I might know that person, I might not know the person, in fact. If I see a film where the clothes look fantastic, I would always write, which is rare. Like, a lot of other people don't do it. Because, a lot of people will not appreciate others because we are in the same category. But I do it because it doesn't take away anything from me, like Rushi Manushi, Veera, they are Thea, they are my friends, and I'm in awe of the work that they do, to be very honest. Then why not appreciate somebody? I'm not saying I'm not competing, we are all competing, we are all doing our thing, but it's healthy. Like, and at least me with these three girls, I have a great bond with them, It's literally like if I need an assistant, I'll call up a Veera, I'll call up a Thea, and they will give me their assistants. And if they need something, I will give them what I have. You know, we discuss things and all. So, of course, there's competition, but I also appreciate these people a lot because, I mean, come on, look at the work we do as a community. Like, the kind of work that these girls create, it's phenomenal. So, yes, there is competition, but from my end at least, I know some of them are bitches and I hate them, but then at least there is a lot. Like, let's say 75% of the people who do what I do, I am fond of, you know, and the rest of the bullshit.
कभी ऐसे लड़ाई हुई है सेट पे? कोई दो स्टाइलिस्ट आ गए, कोई दो डिजाइनर आ गए हैं?
लड़ाई तो नहीं हुई है, but I will tell you this. I was doing a film once and I was
Which
doing...
film?
I will not name. I've been told not be diplomatic, thanks to Divya. So, there was a film that I was doing and I was dressing, let's say, important actors, and that important actor had a different designer for a previous film, or a stylist, and I know for a fact that that stylist had seen something like that she has worn and has gone and said, oh my god, what is this, what is he doing to you, and all that stuff. And I was like, it was so unnecessary. You know, it didn't need to happen. I'm doing a film, you're a personal stylist, but because I think they feel uncomfortable, like it's also that what if she likes this guy and starts engaging him for more work and my work becomes less, that kind of a politics. So, and the stupid part is she came and told me, she like, you know, this one was saying that the outfit is shit, and I was like, okay, great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this happens a lot. This happens a lot.
This is common in all industry.
Yeah, and exactly as I said, like it's not anything special with us, something everybody hates.
Politics exists.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I wouldn't do it. You know, like if I have to say something, I would say it anyways. But then I will not like do it this way because it's like stupid.
But ऐसा कुछ आपके साथ भी होता है कि I really wanted to work on that topic, I really wanted to work on that movie, but I couldn't. I didn't got the chance.
Yeah,
Is there
of
any
course.
one movie you regret
Absolutely.
not working
So
for?
many films. Like there are so many films. I will tell you the difference. So if I see a film that I want to do, and let's say the project is starting and it's a great project and you really want to do it, you pitch for it, but somebody else gets it. Okay. So when you see the film, if you feel, and we all know, we are honest to ourselves, right? Not to the world, but so if I feel that the person who has gotten the film has done a good job with the film, I will like, fuck, so good, you know? Then I don't feel bad about it. But if I see that the opportunity that the person got and did not deliver up to the mark, then it feels really bad. Then you're like, what the hell, man? Like, I would do it like 10 times better because by the end of it, it's film, right? Like, you want to have like that experience. So, recently I remember there was a film which came out and with a humongous budget and all that stuff. And then I went and saw the film and I was like, with this money, you have made people look like this, you know? Then I feel like, fuck, that's stupid. Because imagine if I got that money, what would I do? So that's the difference. Like, I remember there was some film that Veera...
Some, we need a name. Which some movie?
I forgot the name of the film.
Okay.
It was...
it's a Hindi movie?
Yeah, it was... Janvi was in it.
Okay.
And I think Rashmika-Vijay did clothes for Janvi for that film.
Okay.
And I loved it. I really liked it. And I mean, at one point, I think we had spoken about that film, but it didn't happen, and they got Rashmika-Vijay to do it, and they did a very good job. So I remember seeing it and saying, "Oh my God, this is so nice. She looks so good," and that's where it ended. But then that other film that I saw, and that I can't name, good ones I'll tell you, the bad ones I will not name. So I was like, "Are you serious? You had that much money to spend, and that's what you made it look like?" So then it feels a little bit of a regret. Then you're like, shit, I wish I had that money and I had that opportunity to create something so phenomenal. You know, I would have done it better. So yeah, it's there.
But what's your take on people who are doing reviews on fashion, on the kind of clothes actors
dear
wear?
Lord, you're putting me in trouble.
What? I know that might be some of your friends as well. But I really want to talk to you about this because sometimes this can hamper, you know, actors' mental health. Everything.
Okay, so see, I'll tell you this very clearly. Reviewing is an art. Again, it has to come from an informed space about fashion. If you're reviewing fashion, it also uh, there are do's and don'ts. You don't belittle people if you're reviewing, because I also do it a lot of
Yeah.
times. I, of course,
Yeah, comes from a
bring
very
a
funny
brand.
way.
Yeah, I bring humor to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But if you see the reviews that I do, I will never ever belittle a human being.
Right.
I will say this outfit is this outfit is that. Technically, I will say something funny about, oh, the length, whatever. I will say, oh, this looks like from this market and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it is never about the person. I know there are times when people would say things which are very mean, Reviewing shouldn't be harmful towards a person. It can be funny, it can be technical, you're pointing out things in the outfit that's right, but you're coming from a technical point of view, It's not personal. You cannot attack the person and call the person bad things.
So
you can
true.
call the outfit bad. I mean, if
true.
it's a bad outfit, it's a bad outfit. But
yeah.
there is always a way of telling it. You can be honest, you can be brutal, but you will still have to find a sweet spot where the person does not sit home and cry. Because
It's a thin line,
to be very honest, on the day or at the moment when they chose that outfit, it might be right or might be wrong for whatever reasons, they thought it was right. They thought they were looking pretty, right? Most of the time, I'm guessing. So that you have to always consider. Like, I see a lot of things very directly, but I try and make it funny. Because even, and this is how I know that I'm hitting the mark, because people who I have actually said bad things about their clothes, they have actually called and laughed, saying, oh my god, this was hilarious. Because they also know where I was coming from, and like there will be actors, like top of the line actors will actually call me back saying, Arey, you didn't say anything about my outfit, and I was like, but I liked it this time. She's like, but just didn't say something about the outfit, not something funny. So that way, so that you're doing something right over there.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna play a quick game, okay? It's a funny game. You have to give an answers.
Okay.
And here it starts. You have styled so many celebrities. Tell us honestly, which Bollywood star is the most difficult when it comes to styling?
Beep. I'm not naming. I can't name names. Come on, guys. I can't.
Difficult. You don't need an answer.
No. I can't say.
No one will do anything to you, please.
Nobody can do anything with that. That's not the point. The point is, like, I'm just trying to be a little more safe. I'm just trying to.
Okay, let's avoid it then. Is there any celebrity who thinks they have a great fashion sense but actually needs a styling badly?
Oh, so many. Oh my god. There are like a list of them. Yeah, lots of them. Because what happens is when you're an actor or an actress or somebody important, you by default, because everybody around you are telling you that you're fantastic, so you believe that anything you think about is perfect. True. Which is sometimes true, sometimes it's not.
True.
So that's a problem
There
with
is
a
many,
lot
but
of
you're
people.
not gonna name them.
Yeah, there are lots.
Who spends the money, who spends the most on money on clothes in Bollywood?
I think Sonam. Sonam buys a lot of good shit. So a lot of girls do it, actually, to be very honest. Malaika does. A lot of the stuff that she wears are her own, and she is impeccable thing. She will actually go and shop. I've seen it. But she is also extremely one of the very few people I have seen who is not wasteful. She knows exactly what works, exactly what is the value of it, and she'll pick it up. It can be expensive, but she knows the value of it. So Sonam, I know, spends a lot of money on clothes, and I mean, you can see she's phenomenal.
Yes. And you've also worked with her, no?
I worked with her long back
How
on
is
one
she?
thing.
Full fashion.
Oh,
sense,
she
diva.
she is one person who knows. Like, she and Ria, they know. Like, Ria will do her research, and see, that is a good stylist.
Yeah.
Like, she knows, she will do research, and she is not going with what are the 5 brands PR that are calling. She would research, she will find out who are the designers, what's the thing. So there's a lot of research, which I really think she is one of the very good ones.
So, okay, the Sonam and
Sonam, Malla, then
Malla, okay.
who else? Lot of people. Akshay buys a lot of very, very good clothes, expensive clothes. Like, he buys expensive clothes. Lot of people actually now do go abroad. They shop. Because what happens is now there are so many things that you're doing. You can only hire a stylist for those many things. Like some stuff you have to wear your own, so you need to have good clothes.
और इतने साल से एक्सपीरियंस होने के बाद समझ में आ जाता है ना
हाँ कि थोड़ा बहुत तो
तो
पता
मुझे
समझ
करना
जाता
जरूरी है
है
अब है ना ओके which actor or actress takes the longest time to decide their outfit
Oh my God. I see I'm not being diplomatic. I'm just being honest. So what happens is on my sets, I decide.
okay
So then there is no confusion.
good answer good
No,
answer
but that's the truth. Like
Yeah.
because I do films,
I can
it is
sense
not
it.
the actor's choice. You know, I discuss it, whatever. But when the discussion is over, it is between me and the director. So
Okay.
on my sets, I choose what the actors are wearing.
and the actors are okay with it
I mean, some of them are, some of them are not, but most of them are because
They
we
have to.
make sure that we convince them. Because again, as I said, I dress characters, I don't dress actors.
Actors,
So
okay.
when you come on my set, you are that character, and the character needs to wear this. So I will tell you that this is what the look for the character is. So.
true okay do actors ever reject costumes after hours of work
Yes, all the time. A lot of times. But I guess a lot of it happens also when it's personal styling. Again, for films, because the discussion is so extensive and the involvement of the director and all that and the character is extensive. So if the actor is smart enough and intelligent enough, then they understand where everybody's coming from and then they don't trouble. I mean, it's...
but when they reject then does that comes to your mind that self doubt होने लग जाता है कि मैंने कुछ गलत कर दिया क्या?
नहीं मुझे ऐसा कभी नहीं लगता because I come from a very secure and a very
nice.
clear space because I do my research. My clothes that I'm presenting to anybody is never unresearched or it's not random. So even if it's a rejection, I always ask why you're rejecting it, and if they have a point of view, I take the point of view. Simple as that. So I never take all these things personally.
Have you ever had a styling fight with an actor or director?
Yeah, lots of times. Always, lots of times. Even with my friends. Like I have done films where the director wouldn't agree to a point of view that I had, for instance. I would fight because it's very simple. It's like, it's a good fight. You know, eventually what happens is nobody understands that when, and we do it, like when something comes on screen and I'll be like, fuck this shit. Okay. Nobody understands what has gone beyond it. So I will have to fight for what I think is right so that tomorrow when it comes on screen, if it's bad, it's my choice. You know, I made that wrong choice. I will never want to be blamed for somebody else's choice and my work suffering for it. So I would fight with anybody and everybody that I need to fight with to make sure that I do my best. After that, if it's a fuck up, then you can say that the designer was crap and he fuck up. But I don't want ever to not have control on something, it coming on screen and then people saying it's bad. That will really break me because I was like, I knew better, but I couldn't do anything about it. So I might as well fight with anyone and everyone to make sure my work is done properly.
Nice, very nice.
And people understand, you know, like even directors, like I've fought with directors over a certain outfit and they were not convinced, but when it came on screen and they shot it, they would be like, dude, thank you so much for fighting because this looks fantastic. Because I come from that space, right?
Background. True. What's the craziest last minute styling change that happened on a film set?
Oh, not film set, dude. Like I once stepped into this film called Begum Jaan, I think 1 week before they were shooting, and it was a full-on period film. They had some issue with the previous whatever designer they were working on, and that designer literally left with all the clothes because there were some payment issues or whatever. They left with no reference, no clothes, nothing. And these guys were shooting like, I think 8 or 9 days, okay? And they hired me and then they were like, you have to do clothes. And for like some 13 people. And they were period costume. So no research, nothing. So in those like 8 or 10 days, I think I had to do research. I had to make clothes. I had to age them. I had to make sure everything is sorted. And then we went to shoot. So that was cray.
Nice. Okay. Most underrated fashion icon?
Most underrated fashion icon? I would say in Bollywood? यार underrated तो कोई नहीं है. Everybody has their PR. They're always talking about
I
fashion and
I
they're
know
all
you
like, oh,
have
it's so
been,
fantastic.
You have been told not to answer. I know.
No, but this is, I'm genuinely saying, like, tell me which actor do you think is fashionable and nobody's
You will
talking
tell
about
me
it?
this, na?
No, and tell me who's not being talked about. Everybody's talked about. The bad ones are talked about, the good ones are talked about. So in Bollywood, I don't think there's anybody who's underrated. They all have their setups and they're all being talked about, so
Okay.
they're rated well enough.
Okay. Which Bollywood couple has the best fashion chemistry?
Bollywood couple, give me options, yaar. I forget.
It can be Deepika and Ranveer. It can be.
Yeah, I like Deepika and Ranveer. I think they have very individual sense of.
Ritesh. Yeah.
I don't think Genelia and Ritesh are like that. So this thing, and I think they believe also in more comfortable clothes, and
yeah.
they're not trying to make a fashion statement. They wear what works for them. Ranveer and Deepika definitely have a cool quotient. I like Virat and Anushka also. Very, you know what I like is they're very understated. They do fashion but without trying to make a statement. Whereas Deepika and Ranveer do fashion and make a statement. So that's the difference. But at least they're putting in effort to, you know, do whatever they're doing. So yeah, I mean they have that thing which is quite interesting.
Yeah. Do actors sometimes copy looks from Hollywood?
Hollywood what? Like every actor looks like each other because it's only those 5 stylists who are getting clothes from those 5 brands and they are basically rotating from one actor to another. So why Hollywood? Yes, there is always reference points, but it's not copying, I guess, but
it's a reference point.
Some of them are reference points, but like how we all discuss all the time how all the people are looking like each other because that's a
reference, right? One actor who should experiment more.
Give me options.
मैंने भी options नहीं लिख के लाया. मैंने सवाल लिख लिया था.
Actors who should experiment more. I think Ananya does a very good job, so I will not say Ananya. She is fantastic. I think she's just doing the right shit. Who is all the young new girls? They are all kind of doing their shit. It's very good. You know, like they are all doing different things, and Ananya especially, I think, is quite phenomenal. Like I always see her, and she really brings it. So kudos to her stylist. Let's please give credit to the stylists.
Have you ever styled a celebrity for a secret date or special occasion?
No. I think with secret, they don't need a stylist because they don't care. They don't want to pay for it.
Okay. Which Bollywood bride had the most iconic wedding look ever, according to you?
I would always say Anushka because Anushka started a trend which is still followed. Okay. I would also say Priyanka because that red thing was quite, I mean, I don't know if it's a trend or whatever, but that red Sabyasachi that she wore with all the jewelry, I think it was just beautiful. And right now, Rashmika was quite lovely.
You love the lehenga?
I like the sari.
You love the sari?
I loved the sari. And I loved the fact that it was so simple and so beautiful, you know. I mean, I like that. I mean, it's talked about enough again. It's the thing of bringing in heritage into thing was quite interesting. I really liked it.
Some controversy happened, I guess, because of the, in lehenga, there was a Lakshmi ji's photo.
Yeah, controversy though is everywhere all the time. That is unavoidable. We live in a business where they'll always be like, there'll be controversy about what I'm saying also, I'm sure. But that's not the point. But I thought that that whole red sari and he was wearing the right thing, and it was very lovely because
true. Which celebrity wedding outfit was most talked about in the fashion industry?
I think I forgot that. Oh God, this is terrible. Ahan's sister. Her clothes were talked about a lot. No, not
Ahan Sethi's.
No, Ahan Pandey's sister. Alana
Pandey. Oh.
Her clothes were talked about a lot, and it was very interesting. Like fashion-wise, she's this young bride, and she's an influencer, and she had a lot of very interesting clothes.
Very nice, right?
I mean, not Bollywood, but I remember her clothes were quite interesting.
If you could style one Bollywood bride again, whose wedding look would you redesign?
Katrina. Yeah. I think Katrina, I liked what she wore, but I thought that it's Katrina Kaif, you know.
Yeah.
And I felt like she could have done something more different. Like one of her, I forgot all of it. Like there was one peach sari thing that she wore was very interesting.
Yeah.
But I really wish she wore a different color lehenga, because red we have seen on everyone, and
Yeah.
maybe it's traditional, maybe
True,
that's what
true,
she wanted to go
true,
for. But
true.
I mean, it's Katrina Kaif.
Kaif.
You know, she's
Yeah.
like the biggest celebrity in
Absolutely.
the country. I thought that she could have experimented a little more. But then again, Katrina is somebody who's very, very clear about what she likes, what she doesn't like. There's a lot of sense of clarity. So I guess that's...
How different is the fashion energy at London Fashion Week compared to Indian Fashion Weeks?
Oh, huge, huge, massive, massive, massive. It's not celebrity driven as much as Indian fashion weeks. In Indian fashion weeks, it's all about like who's coming for your show and all. But in London Fashion Week, I think it is all about the designers and what they're showcasing. So yeah, the energy is completely different. They don't care about who you are and where you come from. If you are stylish, if you're fashionable, they will appreciate it. And that's, I told you, that's what happened. Like I'm a Bollywood fashion designer, nobody really knew, nobody cared. But because the clothes I was wearing, the way I was, I guess, the amount of publicity and the amount of appreciation I saw over there, phenomenal, phenomenal.
One actor you especially like or keep styling, you want to style him or her?
Janvi, Ananya. Janvi is, I've worked with Janvi and I'm very fond of her because I've had a very, very lovely experience working with Janvi every time I've worked with her. So I really like her. So for me, I think it's also, I mean, it might be stupid, but for me, it's also very important that I like the people I work with. You know, that's when you can create better. I mean, if you dislike someone, you'll do it as a job, right? But if you like someone, you will always put in that extra effort to make sure that that person gets the best. So yeah, Janvi, I think I'm actually very fond of.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else? Give options. I just keep getting looks.
There are many you have worked with.
I think Vedang is one of the people that I would like to dress for a film. Maybe not personal styling, but actually I will say this. I think the boys need to experiment lots more. Like all the boys look a bit boring. It's the same things, whoever the stylist, whatever they're using. It's the same rotation of the clothes, and such good looking people. You can do so much more. But they don't, because they use the same stylist, I guess, and they have this rack of clothes that goes everywhere. So the girls are still killing it. The boys really, really need to like up their game and be more, you know.
That's it. That was the quick answer round. Thank you for giving all the answers.
See, I did.
You
I
won.
did.
Yeah, in a very diplomatic way, but you
No, just one thing was diplomatic, not all of them. I didn't give you all the answers. I said all the things.
But before going, if you want to say anything about yourself, about your industry, please go ahead and then we'll wrap it up.
I don't have anything to say about myself. I think I've spoken enough. About the business, okay, I would say this. You know, it's a bit sad sometimes how film business always, because we are always in focus, because we work with people who people know, every minute thing is made into a big issue, you know. That sometimes irritates me because a lot of it includes my friends and all that stuff. Like, the same thing, it happened to any other business. Nobody will bat an eyelid and they will not talk about it. But just because it is a business where what has people's interest lying in them, everything becomes big. And also, I think the negatives are always focused on more than the positives, you know, which is not always nice. Because sometimes I feel bad about it, because I'm like, look at the kind of money we are generating, look at the kind of business we generate, the employments and all. Nobody talks about it. Like, one person does something bad and they are like, oh, film people are like this and film business is like that. That I don't really always appreciate. So that's one thing that needs to change, you know, like the whole thing about nepotism and this and that and all that stuff. I know a lot of people talk about it, and I truly believe everybody needs to get an opportunity. But at the same time, if somebody said it, I think before also, think about it. Yes, that nepo kid might get a chance, but the audience rejects them eventually if they're not good. It's as simple as that. So yes, getting that opportunity is a huge thing in the business, but that is with every business, dude. Like, you think a father who owns a business is not going to put the son in the gaddi. the same way as a parent, they
everywhere.
will all
It's
want their
everywhere.
kids to do well. So sometimes this whole thing of, sort of, I think we get singled out as a business, and a lot of negative is focused on and not the positives of the business. So that's something that I would ideally like it to change. Be fun.
Thank you so much for talking to me, Rick. It was such a fun and energetic wala conversation. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you so much. It was great fun talking to you.
Same
too.
here.